Today, I want to talk about to a rarely spoken of experience on the internet, which is addressing people who have avoidant attachment. People who are avoidant but deeply lonely. Usually, avoidants have such a bad reputation in the society, saying they are the ones who hurt other people, they are the ones who are more emotionally unavailable from people. But at the same time, even if you're anxious or even if you're avoidant, at the core of it, you both have an abandonment wound which has different coping mechanisms. So it's not that one is better than the other, but in most of the videos I speak about anxious attachment because vast majority of my audience have anxious attachment. However, I also want to address people within my audience who have avoidant attachment as well. So, if you're new here, I am Vesh and I'm a men's relationship coach and I help men heal from their traumas, attachment issues, and wounded masculinity in order for them to pursue meaningful connection with women. Now, if you want to work on your abandonment wounds and heal your self worth issues or attachment issues, you can also book a consultation with me and you can reach out to me through my Instagram. And the link is something that I have mentioned in the description box below. Please send me the keyword coach on my Instagram DM so that I know you're messaging me in order for you to book a consultation with me. So, if you are a man who has found himself to be wanting space, wanting independence, not being able to understand people's emotions, but at the same time, you crave for love, you crave for attachment, but you just do not know how to let people into your life, then this video is for you. And this is one of the hardest contradiction to actually go through when you want someone, you want to be with someone, but at the same time, you do not know how to be vulnerable enough to let someone in. So, in a way, you want a connection, but you stand outside the connection with the fear of abandonment, which is the underlying cause of avoidant attachment as well. So in this video, I'm going to break down where does the tendency of avoidant attachment even come from? What are the root causes and how can you actually start breaking these habits without even losing your sense of freedom and space? So the first thing let's address is what does it mean to be an avoidant? Just because you're an avoidant, that doesn't mean that you do not want love. The thing is, you do not know how to receive love. That's where the difference lies because you have never received love growing up. Your parents were probably emotionally absent, and your coping mechanism to that was to become hyper independent with the thought process that people, anyways, do not stick to you. People cannot emotionally give you support as well. So, in a way, what you thought was it's better to harden the walls around you in order to not let people come into it so that they don't end up hurting you in the very first place. But then, this coping mechanism, this becomes your way of living, and this starts affecting your relationships in adulthood as well. And if you are someone who has an avoidant attachment, you might do one of these things. When someone is getting close to you, you feel that's too intense for you. You feel that's too much. You might not open up to people even if you care about those people. You might even have the habit of ending a relationship when things become too much, when there's real conversations that start happening in a relationship. You might get attracted to someone, you might feel a strong pull towards someone, but when things get real within the connection, within the relationship, you tend to pull away. And in a way, you also find comfort in being in control of the relationship. You pull away from the connection because you are unconsciously trying to control the connection by maintaining a sense of distance because you fear vulnerability, you fear intimacy, and that is always going to stop you from having a meaningful, deep connection in your life if that is what you want in your life. Now, the second thing why this pattern actually exists is because you suppressed your emotional needs growing up. There was no one to actually hold that emotional space for you as a child. Your parents were probably emotionally absent, so you had no container. You had no safe space where you can express your emotions safely. And when you do not have that safe space, what you ended up doing was internalizing all that emotion, suppressing all that emotion, and this kind of becomes your way of living. There was a research that was done where they found out people who have avoidant attachment, they do not remember a whole lot of their childhood as well because you suppress it so much and you kind of create a fake narrative around your childhood saying that your childhood was absolutely fun, it was amazing. But think about it this way, if all your needs were met, you would have been a secure individual right now. You would have been able to give and receive emotions in a healthy way. But the lack of it probably shows that maybe something did go wrong, and maybe you created stories around it for your survival as a child. And there's nothing wrong with that. This does not mean that you're broken. This does not mean that you're not deserving of love. But when you understand the root cause of why you're behaving in certain ways, then you can easily work on fixing all these patterns which do not originate from the present moment but instead originates from your childhood. In a way, growing up, you learned to be so independent, so self reliant that you did not need anyone else to support you. And this is something that's playing up in your adult relationship as well, because you do not know to let anyone inside in the fear of getting hurt by them. And this fear is not really about the other person. It's the possibility of getting hurt by the other persons that is stopping you from actually letting someone into your life. The third thing I want to address is the internal conflict that you have between yourself, where you want connection, but you also do not know how to hold it, how to sustain it for the long run. On one side, you want connection, you want people to love you, but when someone gets close to you, let's say when a woman gets close to you, your body kind of tenses up. Your nervous system could even go into a freeze mode in these cases because you are internally panicking because you kind of fear vulnerability a lot. You start overthinking, you feel that you're trapped in the connection. You also start finding fault within the other person in an attempt of over analyzing and predicting what they can do to harm you. So even before they do something wrong, you kind of pull away because you're being precautious in this whole situation. And the reason you pull away is not because you do not care for the other person. The reason you pull away is because you do not have emotional safety within yourself when someone else is around you. And that's not someone else's responsibility to help you heal. When you do not have that sense of emotional safety within your own body, there is no way anyone else can come and have a relationship with you as well. And in majority of the cases, avoidant men were so deeply sensitive growing up, and because they had to shut down their emotions altogether, this is what makes them look like they're very cold and they're very emotionally unavailable. Deep down, you do care, but you have formed so many strategies around you to protect yourself that often ends up in hurting the woman in front of you. And this is where the push and pull dynamic in the relationship even starts playing out. Now, the fourth thing I want to address is the struggles that avoidance face in a relationship. Initially, you might feel a strong pull towards a woman. You might like the chase in the beginning. You might like the intensity in the beginning. But when things start getting emotionally deep, you tend to pull away because you don't feel safe in that kind of an environment anymore. You kind of also prefer to keep things surface level, and you also kind of do not want to end up in commitment. Most of the times, it's men who are avoidant that do not engage in a form of commitment because they kind of feel that they will be trapped if they are in a relationship with someone. And sometimes you emotionally disconnect physically as well, even when things are not clear in the connection. And sometimes when things do end up within the connection as well, there is a mixed sense of relief and sadness. You're in a way relieved that the connection is over and you feel safe and you have that sense of freedom, but there's also the sadness which kicks in much later, which kicks in few weeks after the relationship has even probably ended. Now, I also want you to understand that it's not that you're not capable of loving someone. It's not that you are unable and you will never be able to love someone. It's just that there was a point in your life where you could not handle the emotional pain and you built yourself up in such a way that you do not have to handle any kind of emotional pain going forward in your life. So, this is purely a survival mechanism that you have trained within your unconscious mind. And this can be reversed, but this requires conscious effort also from your side to reverse it too. Now, this is also how you can start working on your avoidant tendencies. So, firstly, start noticing the triggers. The moment you are in connection with someone you love, notice when you are actually feeling suffocated. Notice when you are actually tensing up your body and you feel that, your sense of freedom is being taken away. Because that's a trigger. That doesn't mean the relationship is actually suffocating you. And you need to remind yourself, okay, this is an old strategy that is playing up in this moment. And instead of acting on those feelings, pause for a minute and ask yourself, okay, what am I trying to protect right now? What is happening at a body level to me? Because when you bring awareness to your responses, this is where you can stop reacting to the situation because you have a conscious awareness of what exactly is happening at a body level to you. The second thing you need to do is communicate that you need space without pushing people away. Now, if you have an avoidant attachment, I would recommend that you actually communicate with your partner, communicate with the person you are in a connection with, that these are some of the tendencies that you tend to show so that they do not end up feeling hurt or rejected by you and they don't end up taking the whole thing personally. But what matters is how you actually express it to them. Instead of completely ghosting them or instead of pulling away in such a way that you are not giving them any kind of explanation, take a minute, Show some grace on the person who is in front of you and explain it to them clearly that you are feeling triggered right now and you need some space and you will come back to them when you feel better. You can literally just tell them, hey, I really value our connection, but I really need some time to breathe and I'll come back to you tomorrow. It's completely fine to voice out your need for space, but what is not okay is to use this as an excuse for bad behavior and for not communicating your needs in a healthy manner to the other person, and even ghosting them in the first place. And this is the only thing that's going to help you stay in that connection while also honoring your own triggers and your own space. The third thing you need to do is let yourself be seen gradually in the connection and the relationship. You don't have to open up about your entire life story on day one, but slowly start letting the person in. Have a thought process in your mind where, okay, this week I'm going to reveal this side of me to the girl that I am in love with, to the person I'm in a relationship with. This is the only way you can actually build a meaningful connection with a woman. You will have to take small emotional risks if you want to develop a meaningful, genuine connection with a woman. If not, you will forever in your life push away people who probably deeply care for you. So, slowly, in the process of getting to know this person as well, in the beginning of the connection, start sharing things one by one. Do not bombard this person and do not also overwhelm yourself with the thought process, hey, you need to tell them everything about yourself. Slowly start sharing, and you can even tell them honestly how hard it was for you to share this piece of information with them. Honesty is not going to make you look weak. You do not have to build any fake walls around you just to show the person in front of you that you do not have any flaws or weakness. We are all humans, we have flaws, but what makes us human is to acknowledge these flaws. The last thing you need to do is build a sense of inner safety, build a sense of emotional safety within yourself where you let yourself feel your emotions. If vulnerability feels unsafe for you, you have to have the resources within yourself to make yourself feel safe without actually suppressing or distracting from your emotions altogether. You can also do inner child work. If you want to work with me in order to heal your avoidant attachment, you can reach out to me and book a consultation with me through my Instagram as well. You need to learn skills of emotional regulation when your body actually goes into a freeze mode where you get tensed up when there is emotional connection or even when there is a conflict that is happening, instead of ghosting the person or pulling away from the person, because that's a very hurtful thing for the person in front of you to actually go through. And the goal isn't to become like hyper emotional. The goal is to actually learn to regulate yourself, hold space for your emotions, and be in control of them, but also at the same time not pulling away from the connection altogether. And the final message that I have to tell you is that you deserve love as much as anyone else in the world. People might call avoidance bad people, emotionally unavailable people bad people, but it's not that you are bad. You just do not know how to regulate yourself. You just do not know how to give love to yourself and even hold space for your own emotions, because you don't know how to love yourself and hold space for your own emotions. You do not even know how to let someone else into your life. You do not need to hide parts of you that are scared to get close to someone else. There's a lot of strength in actually showing your true, authentic version to someone else. And if someone is not going to accept you for being authentic, then that person doesn't even belong to you in your life in the very first place. But the solution to that is not to hide yourself from that person. It's okay to show the cracks in the wall to someone you are in love with, and that doesn't mean they're going to end up leaving you every single time. Maybe this is a story that you have made up in your mind when your parents did not hold that safe space for you growing up. But that doesn't mean that this is going to be the story of your life. So please tell yourself that this is not a permanent thing and this is something that you can heal through and you can work through as well. And I hope this episode was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.